time we know about 4 months.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to.
No, but for real, it's been some time. We're back! I'm your girl Shayla.
I'm Asia.
And this is Same Sis.
But different.
And we're back with episode 16. Okay? So what have you been up to the last 4 months?
Not like you don't know,
I know,
but
right?
for you guys, well, we'll get into the big topic in a second. If you guys have been following, you know that we have been planning my wedding for this year, so we'll get to that a little bit later. But I guess aside from that, I turned 30.
She did. She did.
I turned 30. I am grown. I am an adult. I went to Mexico, kind of did like a 30 honeymoon merge trip, which was really fun. I haven't been on like a trip, an all-inclusive trip, since I was a kid. Like, yeah. So as an adult, you feel like you are true royalty. I'm like, garçon, bring me a tropical margarita.
Right.
No, so that was so fun. Yeah, Trey and I had a great time. What else? When I got back home, he planned like this scavenger hunt for me, which I've never done a scavenger hunt before. So that was cool. It was a little lengthy. I was like, this is a Sunday.
It was lengthy. That took a long time.
It was lengthy. It was like, in true Trey fashion, there was like 8 pages of instructions. But I love the effort. I love that he like went above and beyond. So that was really fun. And then I come home after the scavenger hunt and I'm like chit-chatting like to everybody on Zoom, because I walk in and there's like floating candles and decorations. I was like, oh, he really went for it. And he had my whole family on Zoom, and then he had me like, I guess in every bag for the scavenger hunt, he had like a little heart from our wedding frame. So I was like putting them in and we're counting them, and there was 30, and at like 29, they like turned the music up and I put 30, and like Shayna and all of my closest friends come running out of this room in the dark, and you guys don't know how big this room is, but it is not big enough to hold how many people are in this room.
It was like 10 of us. Mind you, she's like putting all 30 of these little hearts into this frame, and we're back here like, okay, nobody stop. We're like whispering. We're like, will she hurry the fuck up?
No, I was taking my sweet time. But yeah, that was so awesome. And we had John and Vinny's, which I love, takeout, and we just hung out for a little bit. I got to see everybody. That was like the first time after the wedding that I got to like just see everybody and vibe. And that was really good. I'm back at work. You know, work is ass per usual, but like, you know, I'm blessed that I have a job during this time. I don't know if I got it in Mexico. I'm sure it like screwed my stomach up more, but right now I have some like very interesting stomach bacteria called H. pylori. It is very intense cramps in my stomach. I'm on tons of antibiotics. So after the super fun 4 months, it kind of been crashing down, but like I was texting Shayna and I'm like, girl, I'm dying. I'm in so much pain. And she put it like so well, like God only puts things in your life to like let you know. Like I wanted to get better at like my health and eating better and kind of just like getting my body going, and just get skinny again, because I was holding on to a lot of weight. I was always bloated. So I'm like, all right, God, I don't feel good. I'll put down the mozzarella. I will put down the french fries, and I will get it together. So it's been a whirlwind of months. I'm happy to like coast now.
Yeah.
So after that really long, lengthy explanation of my last couple months, how have you been?
Well, before we get into mine, let's toast to you turning 30.
Oh my God, 30.
As Asia already stated, she has some low stomach problems, so seltzer water for me.
And cranberry juice for me.
Okay, because you gotta stick together with your friends.
Okay.
Cheers to you turning 30.
Thank you.
New chapter of life.
Love you.
New chapter of Same Sis.
Okay.
Okay, so for the last 4 months, other than working my fucking ass off at my job, because obviously with everything going on with the pandemic and things like that, like people haven't been let go, or like, you know, whatever the case may be. And our team went from like 16 to now like 8, and you know, no promotions or anything. So just like doing everyone's job, you know, we're just all
working,
bouncing around responsibilities. So that's been fun. Not really, but no, also very fortunate and blessed to be working during this time. So I've just been working a lot. I also got a second job because working in the house is really just, like, not to say that I don't want to be working from home, because I'd rather work from home than work in the office, but like it's a lot of home time. Yeah. It's a lot of home time. And then like being annoyed with the job at home, and like my home's supposed to be like my safe space. Yeah. So I just like got an extra job for the weekend, just like get out and like not do any crazy stuff with, you know, all the stuff going on.
And make some more money.
Make some money, because I'm trying to go on some vacations and stuff.
Okay.
I'm trying to buy a house. I'm gonna do some things. Okay. So yeah, I'm now working 2 jobs plus the podcast. So the last 4 months I was really trying to get my life together so I could like time manage. I mean, just I've been trying to get my well-being of self together in this last 4 months. I really needed like a break. And now we're going to the holidays, which I'm such a holiday person. Same. I literally cannot wait for the holidays. I even get excited for Halloween just because I know it's like the start of like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Totally off base, but like, when do you put up a Christmas tree?
This year I was like, I need to put it up immediately. Like, this year has been just like so crazy. I need to be just like happy, like let's go for it. Yeah. But this year I was thinking about putting it up a little bit sooner, but typically I feel like right after Thanksgiving I put it up.
Yeah, like the day after Thanksgiving, like Black Friday weekend, I'm like, ooh, I want to put up my Christmas tree.
But did we grow up that way?
I feel like we never had like my mom never had a day. It was just kind of like when we had a free weekend, she'd be like, let's go get the, and we never had a real tree, so it'd be like, let's go get the tree from the garage.
Literally every year, I knew Shayna and Annalisa never had a real tree, but it was gorgeous.
No, like my mom's fake tree
was lit.
Is lit.
Yeah.
Like it looks real.
It still is it.
Yeah. We still have the same, like, I want to say we only maybe replaced it once in my entire lifetime.
It's a gorgeous tree.
And I'm about to be 29.
I mean, it's like lit perfectly, symmetrical, big, like, it's like a quintessential Christmas tree.
It's a good time.
In my household, they made us put our winter garments on, go into the Christmas tree farm, get on our hands and knees, and what is that? Saw our Christmas trees down. And it was a fun, like, family, you know, thing. But then as I got older, I was like, it's cold. I'm cold.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, because we always had the fake tree. I always wanted to go and like cut the tree down. And like my older brothers do that with like their wives and kids now. But like, I was telling her, I'm like, we should go and get a tree. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to work with a real tree. Like, all the pines coming off and like all of that, like,
but it's gonna smell bomb. That smell is bomb.
So here is the trick: you get a candle, like a pine candle, and you're good.
Do you know what they have now?
They also have the ones that hang off.
Yes, I was about to say
that are scented.
At Target, they have it in that tube, and they have that scented thing. We are just dropping Christmas gems, even though this is not our Christmas episode. This is how excited we are for Christmas, because we were like,
it's November 1st.
Yeah, so Halloween, fuck Halloween. This is what you need to get for your Christmas tree.
Literally though, I love the holidays, so I'm really excited. But yeah, the last 4 months I just had to kind of get my headspace together, all of that. Straightened my hair for the first time in 3 years.
She's looking lush.
She's in a ponytail because it's time to wash her, but
I know, immediately following this taping, I am apple cider vinegaring my hair, and then we're shampooing, conditioning, masking. Are you doing that tonight as well?
Yeah. Tonight I'll be washing, full wash night.
It needs to happen.
Into tomorrow morning.
Because my scalp right now, she's like barely holding on.
But yeah, that was cool. My hair is pretty long, down to like my bra strap.
Hey.
From being nearly bald, so that was fun.
She's back.
That's it, yeah. Honey's back.
Honey's back, and Same Sis is back, better than ever, kids. We're rejuvenated. We're rejuvenated. We took some mental health moments.
Yeah, and honestly, I started taking vitamins.
Same.
Ritual.
Same.
And I used Asia's code if you guys want. We'll put both of our codes down.
Yeah,
if you guys want to, you get a little discount. But no, they actually did help.
They're good.
They really did help.
Yeah,
and my
good.
best review
Give
for
it.
this is like, I have the worst period cramps every month. I get the cramps like a few days before my period even comes, and then into like day 2. This is my first time with my period with Ritual, and like 30 minutes of cramps day of getting it.
Love
I was
to
like,
hear it.
oh, Ritual's not playing. Got it.
No, and they're
And
amazing.
it's like all the vitamins that you need as
Every
a woman.
single vitamin.
So we'll leave the link. I mean, if you guys want to sponsor them.
No, they're really good. Hair, skin, nails, in
Like
general,
literally
energy.
non-sponsored for us to be going in. Like,
Yeah.
we love them.
No, they're great.
But the big moment in the last 4 months that happened was this lady to the left of, to the right of me.
She has a band, love.
Mrs. Holloway.
She is Mrs. Holloway. She is 30. She's Mrs. Holloway. She can't even take it. Mail comes to my house, and I'm like, ah! Okay. Like, my biggest thing right now is like, I'm starting to practice like my signature and like my initials. Because I feel like I mentioned to you guys a while ago, I was just like, oh man, like I'm getting rid of my last name. And I didn't even think about it or care as much until it was like getting down to the wire. And I was like, oh man, like, but it was cool. It was like a shedding of Asia DePaulo and like stepping into Asia Holloway. And I feel like she sounds very regal. She sounds very royalty-ish. But no, that's like my fun little random thing that I'm doing. But wow, what a year it has been to plan a wedding during this crazy pandemic. Like, I know a bunch of people, 2020 brides, 2020 grooms, and families of, I know it was like a shit show. We actually decided to keep our date, keep it going. I don't remember the last time that we spoke about it. I think, oh no, it had to be.
It was early.
So basically, fuck. Our original venue, we had to leave because they didn't want us to have a dance floor or a DJ, which like, understandable, but for like a wedding, it's like, that's a glorified like dinner party, and that's just not what I envisioned to have happen. So we got an estate in Malibu over the mountains. It was really, really beautiful. The visual and the setting was like exactly what I wanted before we got a venue, so God is good.
What was the best part?
Oh, the best part of the planning or the best part of the day?
Best part of the day.
Ooh. I feel like the best part of the oh, it's hard. It's so hard. I feel like the most like elated moment that I had was when like I think I gave you or Elizabeth my bouquet, and like when I turned around and like grabbed Trey's hands, I was like, holy shit! Look, we're doing this. Like, I'm getting married. We are getting married. Like, you and I are doing this in this. I just felt so like proud of us. In that moment, I'm just like rocking and smiling and just like so excited because I'm like, whoa, this whole year, our whole relationship like comes to this moment when we are like, we're doing it. Wow, like it's literally like how cliche it is, like your life changes in that moment. And it was a very like out of body experience. So that was really, I think, the best tiny moment of the night, but the whole night was just like way too short but incredible. Like all my decor, like you plan this whole day and then you don't ever get to see it. Like you just, you're in the background. And then so when I stepped out for like, after all of them like danced and did their thing, I was like, this came out exactly like how I wanted. And the sun, like a couple days before, actually the week before, California was having really bad fires up north, so it's really, really cloudy. And I was like, damn, the sunset that I wanted, it's not gonna happen.
And then we had an earthquake a couple days after.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, like a lot of natural disasters.
Lots. But the sunset was beautiful. Everybody had an amazing time. Catering was incredible. The drinks were flowing and were good.
The maid of honor was quite the best.
The maid of honor and the speech, I mean, she went for it. Yeah, everyone was just kind of like in it. And from what I hear, it was a great night.
Let me tell you, as a maid of honor, I knew that I had my work cut out for me, but the next day, the day after the wedding, my entire lower body was on fire. My knees hurt, my feet hurt. I was like, oh wow. Like, oh wow, wow, wow. And Trey was like, well, you literally were running around from the morning to the night. Like literally, it was like we couldn't, even I think you guys, like, we couldn't really, not that you weren't enjoying yourself, but you couldn't really, like, let loose until after, like, the second dance.
Yeah.
Which was, like, so far into the night.
So
where
far.
it's like, okay, now we can, like, breathe, and, like, everything went well, and everything is great. But it was, like, and then it's on top of the mountain. Like, the estate was overlooking the entire city, which was great.
Something
and taking
like,
the pictures afterwards. And of course, Asia wants the mountains.
I did.
We were walking down the mountain
In heels.
Oh, like,
gotta love you guys.
it was a lot of work.
Big ups to the rest of my wedding party, especially my bridesmaids in their heels, to you in your heels, holding my big ass dress.
Making sure we had the veil perfect the whole time. Nikki and Elizabeth helped me, and Deja with just making sure the veil, like, 25-foot veil was good the whole time.
I do everything so subtly, you
Yeah.
know? It was all a very subtle moment.
But it was an amazing week, really.
Yeah.
Because it was like everybody kind of came in on Saturday,
Yeah.
then our family stayed after till like Friday. So
We
it
all
was
got
like,
COVID tested. The best
Everybody.
part about it all is that we executed this wedding during a pandemic. We got everybody tested beforehand. Not many people wore masks. Which we supplied masks, every table had hand sanitizer, we did all the safety precautions, and 2 weeks later, we toasted to the fact that nobody got COVID, nobody was sick. I'm like, please God, please, like, we're trying it already doing this, so just let everybody be safe. So
but you cut the guest list too. It wasn't like...
I ended up having to cut the guest list. I mean, it was just every other thing that could have gone wrong did, but due to the pandemic. So I just tried to keep, like, in best, I mean, I hope I was not, like, a shitty person.
I mean, shitty person. We had our moments, as everybody does. As a bride, I feel like, I mean, like, I'm speaking from literally having no experience at all, but I've been in a few weddings. This is my first time being a maid of honor, but, like, I feel like every bride, like, goes through a moment of, like, the planning process is so hard, and you want everything to be perfect, and then you add in that it's a pandemic, and you add in that you have to cut your guest list, and you add, and you have to change your venue. Like,
it was a lot.
You did the best you could.
I did the best I could. But I feel like you and I had a nice revelation.
We did.
It was.
We bumped heads a bit, and then we were like, okay, let's come back down to earth.
Let's find it.
Yeah.
But I've been telling everybody, I'm like, oh my God, I just love that, like, Shayna and I had this, like, much needed breakthrough conversation so that we can just be, like, better individuals, have a better relationship, have a better business relationship. So I kind of loved that, because that was one of the other, like, revelations I had with, like, getting married. I'm like, yo, all of my relationships have to be, like, so solid, because, like, this human being is now my responsibility, and, like, ahead of a lot of people that I've known longer, and that's just, it's a mind-blowing experience. I will say that. But it was the best. Like, I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, yeah, I would, but, like, I wouldn't. For the experience and the memories and everybody who was there and what it looked like and how I felt and all of that, I loved.
I loved, obviously, the ceremony, but the surprise of Trey and the groomsmen doing their dance for Asia, that was super cute. I thought it was so, like, heartfelt from Trey to have done that.
Yeah.
And then you guys' first dance when, like, the pyrotechnics started going, and, like, that was a surprise for you too.
Yeah.
It was very, very nice.
Which was cool, because I, like, planned so hard, and I was like, wow, I got surprised on my day. Like, that's cool. It was very awesome. It was fun. We had a good time. I'm very happy that it's over. I'm very happy that I can just, like, relax and get back to my life, because it consumes you, you know, and it stresses you out. So, all in all, I loved it.
We will give some tips for the future brides and future maid of honors on our Instagram, so make sure you're following us, because we're going to post Asia's wedding videos, some tips and tricks. Obviously, that's what we're good at for future brides and maid of honors, especially to make sure that you maintain sanity and friendship throughout the entire experience, because I feel like that's a pretty not popular, but like or very common thing.
Yeah.
That like it's like, okay, I fucking hate you, shut the fuck up on like both ends, and then you're like, okay, but I love you.
Right. Which is like the best thing for being like so close, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like fuck you forever.
Yes. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please let us know in the comments so that we can answer them in our next video, or we'll just respond back to you. But before we go, we want to get into our end of the show game, and normally it is something different every episode, but now that we're in the second half of our first season, we want to kind of do what works and what we think you guys want. And from our Instagram poll, I think you guys want some relationship advice. We got a lot of questions, and if you aren't following us, make sure you do at Same Sis Podcast, okay? And we're going to be posting the poll every week to see what question you may have about a relationship or anything like that that you guys want us to talk about at the end of the episode. So first time we put it up, we got a few different things, but we're gonna pick just one each time, and the one we picked for today was, how long is too long to be talking to somebody?
I'm gonna say for our age range,
25 plus.
25 plus.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. I would say 6 months.
It's too long?
Oh, it's too long.
Like, how long is too long? You're saying it should not go longer than 6 months.
I think 6 months you should know, like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening? Like, we should have at least, like, felt everything that we need to feel out. We should have already been in a situation where it's like, ooh, that annoyed me, how am I going to deal with this? Which is like, some people call it fights, some people call it arguments, however you want to put it. You know, however you want to put it, when it's not all good and gravy. How do you deal with it? I think you should have that. I think 6 months is like a nice button to...
So anything over 6 months?
I think so. I mean, no pushing, like getting into like a relationship, but like a I think a 6 month.
We're exclusively dating.
A 6 month should be like, let's talk about that.
Okay.
But I think too long, the length, I'm like 8 months is like a maximum.
I think I don't really like putting timetables on anything.
I know, it's hard.
Because I'm just like, I don't know, I like to just let things ride and like see what's gonna happen, but like, and everybody's journey is different, right? But I think for me, I'd say a year is too long to be talking to somebody.
We're both talking from our literal experience.
Me and Trey talked for 6 months, and then I was his girlfriend.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a year that you guys
No,
dated.
we started, our first date was in August, and I was his girlfriend in January.
Makes sense.
But that's not everybody's story, okay? Some people be like, I met him in January, and I was his girlfriend by February. Like, whatever works for you. But I think, like, for the question at hand is, like, if you're talking to somebody and, you know, I think you definitely should have the conversation, like, are you even looking for a relationship with me?
Yeah, with me.
Because, you know, I think in the beginning, like, some people, like, I don't really get this whole thing, but when people be like, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but, like, you're dating.
So what are you doing with me?
You know, so, like, if you want to just have fun, like, great, but then, like, sometimes those turn into, like, okay, now we're just doing boyfriend and girlfriend things, but we're not calling it that.
Right.
Which I feel like 25 plus, I'm even gonna go 27 plus.
I think, yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, 25
plus
is still pretty young.
Yeah. Like, I think that's, like, if you're not looking for a relationship, like, we don't need to be dating.
Right. A year, 8 months, whatever the time is for you is totally fine. There definitely, though, for our age range, 27 plus, there should be an exclusivity conversation had.
Yeah. And, like, not to be cliche as hell, but, like, communication really is key.
No,
so you need to have the conversation and let it be known, like, what you want, what he wants, etc. But, like, at the end of the day, don't let nobody play you. Period. Period. Like, if you feel like it's too long, then it's too long. Like, if you know, like, women have a gut feeling. If you have a gut feeling, just go with it.
Let it go, sis.
Don't be like, oh, well, I don't know, it hasn't been that long. Like, no.
You be the alpha, sis.
You go with your gut. If you guys want to ask us a relationship question or anything that you have in mind that you want us to talk about at the end of the show, please comment on our Instagram, on our Twitter. You can leave it on our YouTube in the comment below. Or you can always, on our stories, we will leave the poll and you can leave it there. There's a lot of places for you to do it, so go ahead and do it.
And if at all you can't get to any of those, just slide in our DMs.
Yeah.
We'll personalize it.
That's fine.
We don't mind.
Until next time.
Until next time, we
We're
missed you.
so glad that we're back.
We're
I hope you guys are glad that we're back.
We can't wait. Love you.